AI can summarize nearly anything from a textbook to a novel in seconds. But critical reading isn't about speed, it's about thinking. If you want to strengthen your mind in this AI-driven world, hit subscribe now and let's get started. I'm Shay, a humanist and a PhD candidate at Harvard, and in this video, I'm going to share the habits I use to read critically and deeply, especially in a world that's constantly trying to speed us up. Whether you're studying for exams, reading for work, or just trying to sharpen your thinking, this video is for you. Excuse the background. I am currently traveling, but I said, you know what? I'm going to teach this series no matter where in the world I'm at right now. Part 1, know why you're reading. The first habit of critical readers is clarity of purpose. Before you even open the book or article you're reading, be sure to ask yourself these questions. For example, am I reading this to prepare for an exam, for leisure or curiosity, to challenge my beliefs, to maybe even teach this later? Why are you reading this text? Your purpose changes how you read. For example, reading for analysis is very different from reading for inspiration. And being intentional makes you a more focused, engaged reader. If you're finding value so far, please give this video a like. It helps others discover it too. Part 2, read with questions in mind. When I was studying for my PhD comprehensive exams, I learned that great readers aren't just absorbing, they're interrogating. These are the kinds of questions I asked of every single page that I read for my comprehensive exams. Number 1, who was the author? What are their qualifications, worldview, or background? Number 2, what's the main argument? What are they trying to convince me of? Number 3, what's missing? This is a really important question. What assumptions are being made in this text that are not readily apparent or something that I need to dig just a little bit deeper into? It's okay if an author doesn't give you the full perspective on something. Just make sure you are reading it deeply enough to know that something might be missing. Not always, but sometimes something may be missing. Sometimes it's a perspective or a fact or a source. Just always make sure you're always asking yourself this question. Finally, how does this text support or challenge what I already know? Bring it back to your experiences, your knowledge map, your knowledge bank, and always make sure that the books or texts that you're reading are adding to your treasure chest. These questions don't just help you understand the content, they help you position yourself as an active thinker in the conversation. Here is a book I recommend if you want to learn more about this. Don't forget to leave a comment below with one question you'll start asking next time you read. Part 3, annotate while you read. Read with a pencil or a pointer or whatever you can get your hands on these days. Annotating is a conversation between you and the text. Don't just highlight. Write down your questions, summarize key points in your own words, and circle ideas you don't agree with, and ask why. This process turns passive reading into active meaning making. And it's how you start building the kind of deep knowledge map that AI simply can't replicate. Here's a book I recommend if you're interested in learning more about this. Part 4, reread with new eyes. Sometimes the second read is more important than the first. The first time you're reading, you're just absorbing, but the second time you're analyzing. Rereading is how you notice the nuance, the tone, structure, subtle arguments, and even contradictions. And every time you revisit a text, you're bringing more knowledge and experience with you. Here is a book I recommend if you're interested in learning more about this technique. If you're still with me, consider subscribing. There's a lot more ahead on reading, writing, and thinking in the age of AI. Part 5, make connections to what you already know. AI can summarize a book, but it can't tell you how that book connects to a conversation you had last week, a line of poetry you remember from high school, or a lecture you once gave or heard. That's the work of your knowledge network, the uniquely human ability to connect, synthesize, and reinterpret information across time and disciplines. After reading, ask this question: how does this connect to other things I've read, lived, or studied? That's how you develop your intellectual voice. And it's also how you future-proof your thinking in an AI-driven world. Here is a book I recommend if you're interested in learning more about this. Part Part 6, read without distractions. I know this is a tough one. If your brain is interrupted every 90 seconds, you can't truly think. One of the best ways to protect your mind, especially now, is to create space for analog reading. No notifications, no tabs, no AI summaries. Just you and the page. Even if it's on an e-reader or an iPad or some other device, try to put it on airplane mode, no internet connection. Just make sure it's you and the text. This isn't just about learning. It's about well-being, which is what I care the most about. Critical reading is one of the most grounding forms of analog wellness we still have today. Here is a book I recommend if you're interested in learning more about this. If you're enjoying these tips, please share this video widely. Help fellow thinkers stay grounded. So, AI can analyze and evaluate content, sometimes with impressive accuracy, but it doesn't know what matters to you. What matters to you. It can't tell you what resonates, what contradicts your experiences, or what shifts your perspective. Only you know the full scope of your lived experience. You are a human being. That's why critical reading is still a human practice, not just about comprehension, but about reflection, connection, and discernment. If you want to keep reading deeply, thinking clearly, and staying grounded in an AI-saturated and driven world, please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. I'm Shay. I'm a humanist and a PhD candidate at Harvard, and this is critical thinking and now critical reading in the age of AI. Let's build stronger minds together. Now, back to writing my dissertation. See you next time.